In de loop van dit jaar of begin volgend jaar lopen op deze aardbol 7 miljard mensen rond. En in 2050 zullen we zelfs met 9 miljard zijn. Lukt dat allemaal nog wel? Kunnen we al die mensen nog voeden? Is er voldoende water? En hoe kunnen die mensen zich verwarmen als straks de fossiele brandstoffen op zijn? Ter zake onderzoekt dat een hele week. Anne Bruinings en Guy de Trooijer.
Welkom op de planeet Aarde. Er leven miljoenen verschillende soorten, maar slechts één domineert al de rest: de mens. En ons aantal blijft groeien.
80 million more per year, 1.5 million more per week, 250.000 more per day, 10,000 per hour, 3 per second. This growth will definitely stop one day because the planet is finite. And when it does, it will either stop sooner by fewer births, the humane way, or later by more deaths, nature's way, famine, disease and war. There is no third alternative.
De Britse demograaf Roger Martin voert al jaren campagne om de wereld te waarschuwen voor de gevaren van overbevolking.
Well, welcome to London. This is 150 years ago the greatest city in the world, the most powerful, with a population of nearly 1 million people. And at that time in the world there were about 1.25 billion people. Well, now, as you know, there are 7 billion people out there, and there are 300 cities over 1 million, and many now in the 10 million and 20 million. Half the world is in cities now. It started with agriculture in 10,000 years ago, when people invented a system of artificial death control. Previously, we'd just been like any other wild species. So when food was plentiful, there were plenty of us, and when the rains failed, we were few. With agriculture, it changed, but it changed dramatically with industry, starting in this country 250 years ago.
En die groei is gigantisch. Dit jaar halen we de kaap van 7 miljard. In 2050 zullen we met 9 miljard mensen op aarde zijn. In Afrika zal de bevolking de komende 40 jaar verdubbelen. Dan zullen er 2 miljard Afrikanen zijn. Een ramp voor Afrika, volgens Roger Martin.
About 25 years ago, I was deputy ambassador in Zimbabwe. And I noticed that Zimbabwe's population at that time was growing by 3.5% per year, very rapidly. So I went to my friend, Bernard Chizero, the first economy minister, and said, Bernard, do you realize this means your economy has to grow in real terms every year, 3.5%, just to stand still in per capita income? And he was normally a very mild man, but he got quite angry with me. He said, of course I know that, he said. Of course I know that we have to grow at a speed we cannot possibly achieve. So of course I know we'll all get poorer until we can get our population growth rate down. Don't tell me, he said, tell the other idiots. And I've been telling the other idiots, as it were, ever since.
Alle nieuwe mensen hebben water, voedsel en energie nodig. Maar moeten we niet eerst naar onszelf kijken? Het verbruik van een Europeaan ligt vele malen hoger dan een Afrikaan. Ook al daalt de bevolking in Europa lichtjes naar 691 miljoen.
All environmental problems boil down to just two things. Too many people consuming too much stuff. And we, the rich, consume far too much stuff. And yet people won't talk about it. When did you last see an environmental report or a report on traffic or commodity prices, the price of oil, the food crisis worldwide, the problems of development and poverty, water supplies running dry, flooding? When did you hear any big report on these which said, and it would be easier to solve with fewer people and impossible with ever more? They always say it's not population, it's one of those other things. They are all problems, but population stability is essential for solving all the others.
Maar wat is dan de oplossing? Want alleen al in Azië komen er tegen 2050 1 miljard mensen bij, tot dik 5 miljard mensen.
There are 220 million women in the world who can't get birth control, they can't get family planning. And we want to, first of all, simply empower and enable them to get the family planning that they want. And if you give women control of their own fertility, they have fewer babies. They always do, because what woman wants to be enslaved to pregnancy all her life while she's trying to feed a family on $1 a day?
De vraag blijft: hoeveel mensen kunnen er leven op aarde? Nu al lijden 800 miljoen mensen honger in de wereld. En het probleem zal volgens Martin alleen maar toenemen, tenzij we durven praten over overbevolking.
At the conference in Kampala that I was at in September, I did a projection of what all the 9 countries represented from East Africa, what their populations would be in 100 years if they went on growing at the present rate. Uganda went up from 33 million today to 860 million in 100 years' time. And I showed it to the minister, presented it to the conference. Everyone understood this is completely impossible. We must stop miles before then, because it's physically impossible to have 860 million Ugandans. The point is, as I said, it will either stop sooner by fewer births or later by more deaths. Those are the choices.